Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. This is for education purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho 4. I'd like to start by saying this is for fair use purpose. I wanted to discuss the police reports that came in on the 13th of November and 14th of November. Especially the 13th of November. This clip is from Crime Stories Obsessed. Emma is just a beautiful creator, one of my favorite people on YouTube. Emma did a lot of extremely good work at the beginning of this case, and I found something that is really interesting here, which I spoke about actually a year ago. But I personally believe that this is really important. I've always been confused about the 3 o'clock police report on the 13th of November. The police call said that there was a fight at the Sigma Chi fraternity. But yet again, it's been said that the alcohol offense on Taylor Avenue, Bandfield, was at 3 a.m. But let me show you the reason that the Taylor Avenue, Bandfield, is called did not come in at 3 a.m. Now, if you read on your right-hand side, it says 13th November 2022, 2:54 a.m. That is when the Taylor Avenue call was made in. So Bandfield could not have been at 3 a.m. because the police were already talking to the boys at 2:54 a.m. So my question is, what happened at the fight at Bandfield? Was it these boys who were in a fight at Bandfield before the police stopped them? Or was there a fight at the Sigma Chi that could have allegedly involved Xana and Ethan? The reason I say that is 2:20 a.m., Ethan sent a text to his friend, around 2:10 actually, and said that he was still at the Sigma Chi fraternity party. So Ethan couldn't have been home at 2:10, 2:15 or 2:20. He couldn't have been home at 1:45 like the police are trying to tell us. It's impossible. Maddie and Kaylee did not come home before 1:56, but the police insist that it was 1:45, although they were corrected by Alivira. So what happened at the Sigma Chi fraternity at 3 a.m.? Was that when the fight broke out with Ethan and Xana? Or did something else take place? The Bandfield alcohol stop and the Sigma Chi fight couldn't have both happened at 3 a.m. Because like I showed y'all, 2:54 and 35 seconds, the police were already stopping these 3 young men, turning their backs to the police, running in the field. Wonder what they had in their pockets, and I wonder what they could have thrown away at the field. The fact that Maddie's jacket was lying behind the bushes and fire extension at Taylor Avenue says a lot. The police just checked the pockets and threw back the jacket in the bushes. So I'll just play this part from Emma, Crime Story Obsessed. She has a lovely voice. Please listen carefully to what she says.
8:01 in the morning, just around about the time that this all happened, or just before, shall we say, with the 4 students. This came in, and some of you may have heard of it already, at 3:01 a.m. in the morning between Taylor Avenue and Bandfield, Moscow. An alcohol situation occurred. Now, it did come in that there was some kind of fighting involved, although when we saw on the police cam the other day, there didn't seem to be any fighting at that point, but the police were on scene. It looked like there was 3 of them, and they'd been given citations for alcohol offences, with them being 20 years of age. So they were students. Now at 10:54 a.m, so this is a few hours after the students were taken so cruelly, a vehicle was reportedly parked with the door wide open in a parking lot on Rayburn Street, University College of Law. So there was a vehicle parked there and the door was wide open. 56 a.m, and this came in as 1100 Black King Road in Moscow, Idaho, and this was a complaint of an unconscious person. Officers and EMS responded. The coroner and detectives were notified. Yes, you're right in thinking that is the 4 students that were killed. All this is saying that the call came in from one of the roommates from inside the house. This is where the person was reported to be at the time that they were unconscious, and this is the house. As you can see, 1122, which is where all this occurred, was just up the road. So had they run down there to get a friend to help and then collapsed? At 17...
So this gets more interesting. The call came from 1100 Kings Road, not 1122 Kings Road. I wonder if this is where Emily and Hunter live. Pay attention to 1100 Kings Road is a second away from Jack D's house. Why didn't they call from outside 1122 Kings Road? Why did the surviving roommates make a call from 1100 Kings Road? Or was it someone else who did that? Find this to be interesting. This is another call that I find very interesting. This came at 13:27. That would say an hour and a half after 911 was called for 1122 Kings Road or 1100 Kings Road. Abnormal behavior. Incident address Ash Street, Student Health. Time reported 10:57 in the morning. Pay attention, this was before the police were called to 1122 Kings Road. Male with schizophrenia is having an episode. Subject transported to Gritman. No report. Now, as a licensed mental health therapist, I found this to be really interesting, because if somebody is suffering of schizophrenia, that is a serious mental illness, if the person is not on their regular medication, if they haven't had sleep in days, haven't eaten in days, they can easily end up in a psychosis state. So what if this person knew something about what happened at 1122 Kings Road? Or could this person have been involved himself? Because I find it interesting that this was 1 hour before the police were called. This is Ash Street, where the young man who suffers of schizophrenia was taken to hospital. This was at 10:57 a.m., 1 hour before 1122 Kings Road call came in.
To when the 4 students were taken from us, a weapon offence came in, or complaint. It came in that somebody was apparently blaring out music for some time and shooting off a you know what. Officers responded, but no report was made. So whether they were able to deal with it there and then, told him to turn the music down, maybe it was the music that they'd heard. I mean, it didn't say that he was, arrested or anything. So, but it's interesting to know that this was occurring. This was on 2300 back South Main Street, and apparently there was some question as to whether they were firing off a G and were blaring music at the time. But it's just interesting because it did actually come in like literally 2 hours before all this occurred. Now,
and then we go back to the 301 report, the alcohol offense in Taylor Avenue, but that couldn't have been possible. Like I showed y'all, Taylor Avenue, Bandfield alcohol incident started at 2:52. So this is at 3:01. 7 minutes later. What was happening at the Sigma Chi? And was the Bandfield a distraction? I've always said I believe it was a distraction because Saeed just walked in saying, "What's up?" to the police. He was watching the crime scene pictures allegedly in front of the police. Something is not right here. Let me know what y'all think. Thank you, Emma, for all your hard work. Please like, share, and subscribe to Crime Stories Obsessed. Have a lovely day.